I know Police Chief Art Aceveda. He's one of the few police chiefs that actually comes and sits in the studio. It normally takes about a month to get him in here. I wanted to get him in here about laws about texting or even looking at your cell phone. You get a $500 fine. Not about safety, about money, but that's a legislature issue, not him. And so I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he may not have known that the BATF and the special gun unit were having the detectives do this. It's a big department. But if he defends this or doesn't do something about this, we do have a major problem politically. And people should be at the city council regardless. There needs to be an investigation and not by the police department because this is outrageous. I mean, if the police can come and just, paint something on your front door of your business and say nobody can shop here anymore, that is effectively what happened here. And I have to use the Nazi Germany analogy because the Soviets did the same thing. And we have to resist what they're doing. Going back to Darwin Boedecker and Aaron Zelman of jpfo.org. Gentlemen, other points, other things you'd like to add to this, Darwin, other things you want to air or say on air, Aaron Zelman?
Well, I think that, again, we have to find some serious gun owners in the state of Texas who are going to say no to this. I mean, they're going to stand tall. The emails are fine. It's nice to have some encouragement, but boots on the ground really makes the difference.
Yeah, we need people to go to their city council people's office and say, I want a meeting with you. We need the state attorney general, who I'm told is already looking into this, to come down to Austin and say, look, cities can't, folks, if you don't follow the state law, which they've broken here, and you get cities where boss hogs make themselves king. I mean, we've seen this over and over again, Aaron Zelman.
Well, yes, we have, and it's been a nasty result. So I think that it's important that, again, that people realize that, that you just can't tolerate this type of evil because it's like a cancer. It spreads. I mean, the whole Obama administration, their whole agenda is cancerous.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is Obama admitted. We found out he's doing this all over the country, covertly sending feds in to shut down gun shows illegally. I mean, Obama and the government, the federal government, they are the real criminals.
Well, I think that's another reason why people should be using our free film, No Guns for Negroes, because we have to show what a fraud and a hypocrite the man is. We have to show that he will sell out his own people, so he certainly doesn't give a damn about anybody else. I mean, people have to see this guy for what he really is.
We will post No Guns for Negroes, the history of racism and gun control, on Infowars.com. Guys, send it to Kurt. Let's get that up. Absolutely. And, of course, jpfo.org. Going back to Darwin, people are also now calling for a boycott of HEB. They're saying, how dare you even complain? We hadn't blamed HEB for this. Do you think HEB should be held accountable as well?
Well, I think definitely the gentleman they sent to the meeting should be held accountable for his action. The only thing I would like to say is if we're not able to get a show back in the same building that we've always been in, if anybody out there knows of any facility where we can have a show in February, we got to find some place to have a show, because if we don't, they win. And I'm to the point where I'm not going to allow that to happen.
I have a quick question, guys. What about the sheriff? What role is the sheriff playing in all of this?
We've tried to get good sheriffs in, like Raymond Frank and others, and why is the sheriff allowing this? I mean,
people are supposed to come to the sheriff, right, to do something like this? They're in his county. I mean, the sheriff needs to have his personal life made very public. And we need to find out what's really going on here, because something really stinks.
Darwin Boedecker, we'll talk to you as this develops and unfolds. I appreciate you spending time with us. We're standing right beside you.
I appreciate you and your fans and your group of people helping me out with this.
You bet. Thank you. We're going to come back 5 more minutes with Aaron Zelman. I hope that Austin Police Chief Art Aceveda isn't behind this. He claims he's a conservative. He grew up in communist Cuba. He's from Los Angeles, Highway Patrol. I just wish we could have a Texan for our police chief, but I guess they won't do the types of things that the feds want. But we do need people to go to TexasGunShows.net if you're constitutional lawyers, if you want to help file lawsuits on the BATF, on the Austin Police Department, on others, because this is a small family gun show. The big gun show pulled out. They were harassed after more than 15 years and run out of Austin. He took it over not knowing what he was walking into. And they said, look, you get out of town by sunset, boy. We run this town. Texans don't get guns. Our California, boss is here. He rules now. And, I hope that's not the case. I hope we're not being run by Fidel Castro here. But in the 4 minutes we've got left with Aaron Zelman, Aaron, the good news is this is a huge story. The news is now covering it today in Austin. People are upset. People couldn't believe it at first. When we first broke this on Sunday and then Monday, they thought we were making it up. Now it's admitted to be real. People are shocked. I think Americans are just so shocked by the level of tyranny, like the Obama administration cast Sunstein saying they're going to restrict free speech and take over the web, or that we have no right to own guns. I think people have trouble believing this is really happening.
Well, they better get over the trouble part. They better believe, because this is what the Obama administration has brought to America, and that is pure tyranny, a hatred for freedom. And you have to wonder just who he's a puppet on a string, and who's pulling the strings with this guy. You really have to start asking some deep questions about this.
Well, it's so unconstitutional to have the feds come in and then engage in not just unconstitutional, but illegal activities like this. I mean, this is illegal.
Well, the one interesting thing that I'd like people to follow is that, there is the McDonald versus Chicago case. Arguments are supposed to start March 2nd at the Supreme Court, and where that would just about abolish all local gun control laws if it's passed. And so I would encourage people to follow that case. And on our website, we do have a brief that JPFO filed, an amicus curiae brief. That people
briefly tell folks about that case, briefly.
Well, briefly, it's about the city of Chicago. There's an elderly man there named McDonald who lives in a high-crime area. He wanted to own a handgun to defend his life. City of Chicago said, no, you can't do that. They've been saying no to people for a long time about the ownership of handguns. So the case found its way to the Supreme Court. And so now the Supreme Court's going to be asked to see if the Second Amendment also has the protection of the 14th Amendment to make sure that people have the right to defend their lives. Sounds silly, but that's what this case is about. The people have a right to own guns to defend their lives.
How about we take the police guns in Chicago? Oh, no, they've got to protect themselves, but we can't protect ourselves.
Well, that's pretty much what it boils down to. That's why this case is very important. Again, I would encourage people to come to our website, jpfo.org, and they can read the case. They can download the file and share it with others. But people need to start paying real close attention to this case. The Obama administration is absolutely opposed to it, because it'll take power away from those who hate the Second Amendment.
Aaron Zelman, in closing with about 45 seconds, it does seem to me, though, that we are starting to gain ground and that they are panicked. Do you agree?
Oh, I think absolutely. I mean, if you look at some of the people who have been going to these tea parties, they seem to be people from all walks of life, even people who previously voted for Obama. This has got them concerned. Even though there's problems going on within the Tea Party, I understand that, but people from all walks of life are saying, wait a minute, this is not what I want in my government. I don't want to lose my freedom. I don't want more taxes. I don't want restrictions on my rights. That's probably why gun sales are roaring away.
Record highs.
Record high.
JPFO.
People don't intend to give those guns back to the government. That's not their intention. That's not why they're buying them.
Stay there. I've got one more question.